Hello, how are you all? And good morning to you all. I believe you're doing well. I'm also very fine. So, this is the fourth week, and we are looking at responsible use of resources. Responsible use of resources. I need you to get all your books and your pens or pencils, your materials ready for the lesson. Okay. Water resources. Now, before we go into water resources, let's ask ourselves, what are resources? If you talk about resource, how do you understand the term resource? Now, simply, resources are the materials that can be developed to support man's needs. Materials that can be developed to support our needs. You agree with me that we have a lot of needs. Are you getting it? Now, there are so many things that help us to live as people. Now, those things that help us to live or it supports our needs, those things we call them resources. Now, we have water resources. You agree with me that we cannot do without water. Good. Now, we have mineral resources like gold, silver, diamonds, etc., oil, they are also resources, mineral resources. Now we have land. Land is also a resource. If there was no land, where would daddy build your house? The house that you live in, it was built on a land. That land is a resource. Why? Because it has supported your need. It has helped you to be able to build. And that's why you live there. You understand? So land is also a resource. Plants or vegetation is also a resource. That is where we get the food that we eat from. The fruits that we eat. The flowers that we use to decorate our homes, our churches, our, trees. They are all resources. And also human beings are resources. We call them human resource. So daddy is a type of human resource. You too, you are a human resource. That's why your mother can send you, go and buy milk for me. You have supported her need. You have helped her in a way. So you too, you are a good resource. Are you getting it? So resources are materials that can be developed to support man's needs. Now in this lesson, I want us to look at water resources. Do you agree with me that water is very important? What are some of the reasons why you think water is important? I need you to write it down. Now, what are some of the uses of water? What do we use water for? What do we use water resources for? You see, we have rivers, lakes, streams, oceans, springs, ponds, etc. Now, all these are water resources. So we can get water from different sources or different places. Now, what are some of the uses of water? I know you can give me a number of them, but let's look at just some few uses of water. Okay, so number one, water is used in the home for cooking, bathing, washing, drinking, etc. So in the house, that is the domestic use of resource. If we talk about domestic, we are talking about the home. So water is used in the home, or the domestic use of water is cooking. You use water to cook, you use water to bath, you use it to wash, you use it to drink, That's what we even use it to flush our toilets, etc. You use water to wash daddy's car. So you see, in the house, we use water a lot for so many things. You see, so water is a very important resource. Number two, water bodies such as rivers, lakes, lagoons, and oceans are used to move passengers, goods, and services from one place to the other. Imagine if there was no ocean or water body, like lakes, rivers, oceans, how would the boat move? Think of it. How will a boat, a boat or a ship, ship doesn't travel on the land, like on the road. You don't see a ship on the road, do you? No. Do you ship a ship in the air? No, you don't see ship in the air. But where does the ship move? On water. So if there was no water, how would the ship or the boat be able to move people or passengers, to be able to move goods from one place to the other? You see, water is a very important resource. Number 3, farmers use water to irrigate their farms. So rainfall helps farmers, to irrigate their farms. Now, in the absence of rainfall, farmers can also connect pipes from maybe a river or a nearby river or a lake or whatever to be able to irrigate their farms so that their crops will grow. Without water, the crops will not grow. So you see, water plays a very important role in farming. Farmers use water to irrigate their farms. Number 4, poultry and livestock farmers give water to their animals to drink. Without water, how would poultry farmers manage the poultry? If you have ever seen a poultry farm before, or maybe you live close to a poultry farm, or maybe your parents are even poultry, farmers, have you seen that they give water to their chicks to drink? Without water, how would they manage the birds that they rear? Without water, how would the livestock farmers, talking about the farmers who rear goats, sheep, cow, or cattle, how would they be able to give water to their animals to drink? All the animals, they will die. So you see, water is very important. It is a good resource. Number 5, water is used in the production of hydroelectric power. How many of you have visited Akosombo? Or how many of you have even seen the Akosombo Dam? You see, it is built on the Volta River, River Volta. The dam is built on the River Volta, and that is where we generate hydroelectric power or electricity. Without it, without the water, how would you be able to generate electricity? We will all be sleeping and living in darkness. So you see, water is very important. It is a resource. The last thing is that we get some minerals like salt and alluvial gold from water bodies. Alluvial gold is the gold that we get from water bodies. And there are some minerals like salt we get from water bodies. Without it, how will we get salt? How will we get alluvial gold? And there are some other minerals too that we get from water bodies. So you see, water plays a very, very important role. It's not just drinking water, bathing and washing with it. No, water has a lot of uses. Go to the drink factories. The factories like Belacqua, Casa Precon, Voltic, Viva, etc., etc. Royal Drinks, all those companies. How do they manufacture their drinks? They use water. It is liquid. Adonko. They use water. So water also has an industrial use. The industries or the factories, they use water to manufacture their goods or their products. You people, when you come to school, you go to the tax shop when it's break time and then you buy Mirinda. Isn't it water that they use to produce Mirinda? Without water, will there be Mirinda or Coke or Fanta, Calipo, Vitamilk, etc., etc. Those things you people have been drinking. You see, so water is very, very important. So today we have learned that one of the resources that supports man's needs is water resource. Is that okay? All right, so let's continue. Do you know that even though water is very, very important and it's a very good resource, yet there are some human activities that can pollute water bodies? If I talk about polluting water bodies, I'm saying that activities that destroy our water bodies. It makes water bodies impure. It makes it unsafe. You see, pollution or water pollution is the process whereby water is made impure or unsafe. When we introduce substances into the water bodies, that will make it impure or dirty or unsafe. That will destroy water. It is called water pollution. We are polluting it. We are making it dirty. We are making it impure and unsafe for use. You see, water is so important, but there are certain activities that can pollute or destroy or make water bodies unsafe or impure for use. Now, what are some of these human activities that pollute water bodies? Number one, fishing with chemicals like DDT. A lot of fishermen, they fish with chemicals. They pour chemicals into the water bodies so that the fishes will come out for them to catch them. Now, when we pour chemicals into the water bodies for fishing activities, it makes the water poisonous. It makes it unsafe or impure. It pollutes the water. Can you imagine drinking a poisonous water? What do you think will happen to people who drink polluted water? You see, so fishing with chemicals like DDT can pollute water bodies. The next thing is that throwing rubbish into water bodies. In Accra here, when it rains heavily, you realize that people bring out their rubbish or their garbage from their homes and then they pour it into the running water. It is a very bad practice. When we throw rubbish into water bodies, it makes the water unsafe. It makes it impure. It dirties the water. It pollutes the water. So from today, tell your friends or your neighbors, don't throw rubbish into water bodies. Otherwise, it is the same water that we are drinking and then you are making it dirty. Number 3, defecating and urinating into water bodies. Now this practice is very common when you go to the coastal areas or areas where there are a lot of water bodies. You see, those people who live there, not all of them, but some of them, especially the children, they defecate in the water, they poo-poo in the water bodies. They will go into the water body to swim and then they will poo-poo in it. Some of them will be urinating. Even the silicone pool, the pool that you people have been swimming in. Sometimes some of you urinate into the water, true or false? You see, if you do that, shame on you. Shame on you. So defecating and urinating into water bodies pollutes the water. It makes the water unsafe, impure for use. The next activity that can pollute water bodies is bathing in water bodies. You bath, your soap, your sponge, everything is in the water. It makes the water impure because soap is made up of chemicals. So if somebody drinks that water, what do you think will happen to the person? The person will become sick. You see, so bathing in water bodies pollutes the water. The next thing is that when factories release liquid waste products into water bodies, there are some factories or manufacturing companies or industries that release liquid waste, the waste or the toxins, the poisonous substances after they have manufactured their products, they release or discharge all those waste into water bodies. It is very, very, very wrong. It makes the water harmful for use. The water becomes very harmful for people who use such water. Lastly, Galamsey, illegal mining activities, they destroy the water. Watch the news. You will see that they have destroyed the water bodies, those places that they practice illegal mining or Galamsey. When you watch news, you see it, or you can just Google. You see it. The water has become brown. It's like tea. They have dirtied the water because of illegal mining activities. And there are people who live in those areas, so they fetch water from the streams or from the rivers for domestic use, for cooking, for bathing, for washing, for drinking and all that. And look at what illegal mining activity the Galamsey people are doing to the water bodies. Is it fair? No. It's very, very wrong. So you see, today we have learned that resources are materials that support our needs. And we have learned that some resources include water, land, trees or vegetation, minerals, human resources, etc., etc. Today we have learned about water resources, and we have seen the importance or uses of water resources. And then we have also learned that human activities can pollute or destroy or dirty or make unsafe or impure. It can dirty our water bodies. I believe you have learned something today. Share with your friends and your family, and let's preserve our water bodies. Is that okay? Good. So I'll see you again on this same platform next week. Take very good care of yourselves. I miss you all. Bye.